Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm here with 10 more Minecraft mod combinations that work really well together. And most of these combinations can be used in either 1.18 or 1.19, although there are a few that are for 1.16, but generally you're going to be able to use them in the newest versions of the game. And if you'd like to download any of these mods, as usual, they'll all be linked in the description below. And anyway, let's go ahead and check them out. So, for our first combination, we're going to be using the Dropz mod along with CIE. And I actually did a full dedicated video on the CIE mod fairly recently, and what it does is makes it so blocks have full collision when they're dropped on the ground. And when I made that video, I wanted it to be compatible with the Dropz mod because I knew the combination would be wonderful, and well, since then, the mods have become compatible. And the Dropz mod is easily the most realistic item drop mod I've seen for Minecraft, so I knew these mods would just be absolutely wonderful together, and seeing it in action is honestly really cool, because not only will the dropped items roll around and act as if they were real items, but they'll also collide with you. And it can be a little bit buggy at times, but honestly, this is something you'd pretty much expect from this. Next, I've combined Eyes in the Darkness with the Sound Physics mod, along with, well, pretty much whatever shader you'd like. Although there are a couple in particular I'm going to show you. And Eyes in the Darkness adds a new mob to the game that literally just stares at you and makes scary sounds. And by the way, I'm using a custom version of this mod that I made for my How to Turn Minecraft into a Truly Terrifying Game video. And this mod, along with Sound Physics Remastered, is pretty terrifying, because not only will it make horrifying sounds, but you'll also hear it echoing throughout the caves you're in. And in addition to this, as I mentioned before, I'm using a shader. And the more basic of the two that I selected is Complementary, and then I turned the minimum brightness level all the way down to 0 so it can quite literally get pitch black. And I also turned off all the glowing ores and made it so the torch will flicker in my hand. So now all you can really see is the light from your torch and just the eyes glowing in the darkness. And the other shader that's pretty fun to use because of a particular setting is Apollo Light, which you can use to activate a makeshift flashlight. And this effect is honestly better than I thought it would be, although the shader sadly isn't completely finished, so you have some buggy visuals, but the setup's pretty fun to play with for sure. Next, we have a combination that I think many of you are simply going to find to be very helpful, and this is the combination of the FindMe mod along with iron chests. And I'm sure as most of you know, iron chests adds absolutely massive chests to the game, and when you have a massive chest, it's going to be filled with a massive amount of blocks, and this can sometimes get very unorganized very fast. So if you want to find a particular block, but the task just seems completely hopeless, you can just use the FindMe mod. All you have to do is just point your cursor over a block and press Y, and it'll instantly highlight where that block is located. It even conveniently highlights it in the chest for you. And I just thought these mods work very well together because, you know, it's nice to be able to find things quickly when you have a lot of space to go through. For our next combination, we have Terralith and Serene Seasons. And Terralith is easily one of my favorite world generation mods for Minecraft, because it's just loaded with so many cool things to see. The biomes look amazing and have an extremely high level of diversity. There's just so much you can come across. And with the Serene Seasons mod installed, we'll have even more variety, because not only will there be a bunch of biomes to explore, but the biomes will change over time. As you might expect by the title of the mod, Serene Seasons allows the seasons to change in your game, so a biome that might normally just be temperate can have some extreme temperatures. You'll even notice in winter months rivers start to freeze over. Up next, we have a combination that is honestly absolutely crazy, and this is Immersive Portals with Fusion's Gravity API. And Immersive Portals has a feature that allows you to stack dimensions on top of each other, whereas Fusion's Gravity API allows you to completely customize how the gravity is affecting particular players in your world. And something you can do that is absolutely crazy is make it so the dimension of your choice, and this works with modded dimensions, is actually underneath the overworld upside down. So when you dig to the bottom of the overworld, rather than coming across bedrock, you're gonna find obsidian, and when you dig through it, you'll suddenly be at the bottom of the other dimension. And trust me, this is incredibly trippy and definitely takes some getting used to. And in use with some of the dimensions out there, this could do some pretty awesome stuff. Next up, we have MrCrayfish's gun mod along with the target mod. MrCrayfish's gun mod, as one might expect, adds several new guns to the game which can be customized with different attachments, and the target dummy mod just gives you a, well, target dummy that is completely indestructible and shows you how much damage you're doing to it. And this can be very helpful with MrCrayfish's gun mod because now you'll know exactly how much damage you're doing and even how much damage per second you're doing. And this will be a great way to find out which weapon really works best for you, and also if attachments are worth it or not. And plus, It's also just a lot of fun to set up a shooting range. For our next combination, we have two mods that don't actually really interact with each other all that much, but rather they both accomplish a fairly similar goal. And this is just making your world look a little bit prettier. And the first of these mods is the Falling Leaves mod, which makes it so when you're in a forest, leaves will, well, fall from the trees. And it's a fairly subtle effect, but a very nice one that just makes the world feel a little bit more alive. And the other mod we'll be using is Illuminations. And Illuminations will add fireflies and several other glow-in-the-dark particles to your game. And both of these mods are very customizable, so you can choose how many of these particles will spawn and where they'll spawn. And again, they just make your world feel a little more dynamic. Next, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of mods that make the borders between biomes blend together absolutely seamlessly. In vanilla, the border between two biomes can be fairly harsh depending on how big of a transition is between the biomes, but once we install Sodium, which normally is known for its amazing performance boost, the fairly noticeable color transitions will be completely smoothed out. And in addition to this, we'll be installing a better biome blend, which significantly expands the biome blending radius. So at this point, on the ground, the transition between the biomes is essentially not even noticeable anymore. And this effect is also applied to things like water, so you don't have harsh edges between a biome such as a regular ocean and a swamp. Things just blend together very smoothly with this combination. Now, for our next combination, we're making some serious improvements to horses. And the first mod I've installed is Callable Horses, which adds a feature that's now in many video games, and that's the ability to whistle to your horse in order to make it come to you. And this is honestly just a wonderful ability to have. There's a reason like every game does it now. It's so simple yet so convenient, and just makes using a horse much less of a hassle. And the second mod we'll be installing is Horse Combat Controls, which honestly just makes horses way better in general. Not only can you completely control the speed that your horse is moving at, but the rotation of your character is also independent from the rotation of the horse. So you can do things like archery very easily while you're riding on your horse. And together, these two mods just make the whole horse experience a lot more satisfying. And the last combination I'll be showing you today, which is pretty likely to cause you quite a bit of agony, but also provide you with a pretty great time, is Mutant Beasts and Mutant More. And both of these mods provide absolutely terrifying versions of vanilla mobs to the game, and they will be easily some of the most difficult creatures you come across. I mean, these things are just more than capable of absolutely annihilating you if you're not prepared, and they will do it. They're just so much fun to fight though, and easily some of the best custom mobs ever made for Minecraft. Seriously though, if you see a mutant skeleton, just run away, if you even can. And before you leave, I'd like to talk about Audible, who is kind enough to sponsor this video. If you head to audible.com/AsianHalfSquat or text AsianHalfSquat to 500 you can claim a free 30-day Audible trial, which will give you access to thousands of audiobooks, podcasts, and even sleep tracks. Plus, you'll receive a credit for one free audiobook of your choosing. And this time around, I'm recommending the audiobook for The Hunger Games. I'm sure many of you have seen the movie, and the books are highly enjoyable as well, probably even more so. And I know it's not the most original recommendation in the world, but this book really does have a special place in my heart, especially because it inspired one of my all-time favorite Minecraft modes. And here's just a little piece of it.
60 seconds. That's how long we're required to stand on our metal circles before the sound of a gong releases us. Step off before the minute is up, and landmines blow your legs off.
And personally, I'm somewhat of a binge reader, so when I read a book I really enjoy, I hardly stop. And audiobooks are pretty great for this, because even if something requires my immediate attention, I can continue on with the story. So be sure to head to audible.com/AsianHalfSquat or text AsianHalfSquat to 500 and start your free trial today. And anyway, thanks again Audible for sponsoring this video. And anyway, that's gonna do it, and if there's any mods out there that you think would work perfectly together, definitely let me know and I'll be sure to take a look at them. And remember, if you'd like to use any of these mods, you can find them all in the description below. And anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching.